did you do that? How did you do that? Did you think it was?
as always, another fantastic introduction. They just keep on coming, don't they? And you were right. Is it weird to be here on a Monday night? Kind of feel a little bit weird, but I also feel kind of excited. Of course, you just mentioned, yes, normally tonight I would be on track. I'm just here for the 4 to 5 weeks while I'm recovering from surgery, and then I will be back out on track. But as you know, I'm always down to make myself useful for SFR.
You are indeed, and it is greatly appreciated. So for people who are more along the side of SFR, as it has been in the past, you might not know a little bit about this. So this was a league that I was previously running, which went by the name of F1RL, Formula 1 Racing League. Swayze drives in F1RL, and all of the things like that. The offer was given by Mr. Jamie and Mr. Will for me to move over and join the SFR family with this league, which is what we've done. So you can probably see a few people from the Tier 1 side of things, some names that might look a little bit familiar to you. For example, TES Leclerc, A Jackson, TES Sights, Big Will, Just Geordie, Dom the Noodle, Kixra, and then of course you've got myself and Swayze down the bottom. So, sorry, I just had to deal with a few admin-y things, because someone decided that they were going to leave the server about 10 minutes ago. Bear in mind, we go live racing at 8 o'clock. So, yeah. Let's just get everyone in. Who are we missing? We'll work out who we are missing. We are missing both of the Mercedes drivers. I'm sure they both said that they were racing. Okay, Semper was tentative, so Semper might not race. Goose is definitely supposed to be racing, so Goose needs a ping. Kirby needs a ping. Raver Chile and Raver both need pings. As does Flames and 4Mel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 4Mel should be racing. I'm sure I've seen him in the chat earlier on, working on his setup.
Kirby. Goose.
But thank God it is esports, because we are at soccer and we know it doesn't really work.
Indeed. Who else are we waiting on?
Postman. Oh no, it's just me.
Braver. Chile. Right, let's get that done. So, fortunately I haven't been able to get all of the graphics and everything done like we would normally do for Tier 1. I haven't had time to do that for Tier 2 yet. But I can tell you that TES Leclerc currently leads the championship. On 102 points, he has won the last 4 races in a row. So he's looking to make it 5 out of 5 here in Russia this evening. TES Big Will is just behind him in second, with the man who's in the comms box with me tonight currently sitting in third, but unfortunately I think Swayze is going to drop down the order just a little bit during this time that you are away. I'm sure you'll fight back, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that I've known about it, that because it was going from the start of the season, so you just got to take it and move on.
Indeed. Another name that you may recognise from the world of Tier 1. Mr. TM Kirby. He made a request to the owners on Saturday night after Tier 1, requesting that if he could potentially be moved down to Tier 2, as it suits his lifestyle a little bit better. And we were more than happy to let him do that. He is going to still reserve for Tier 1, so don't think it's the end of Kirby in Tier 1. We have got a reserve coming in from the world of ACC. This is from the SFR ACC League. TJH is going to come in and fill the McLaren seat, which was vacated by someone very, very recently. But we will look to hopefully fill the lobby up properly sooner rather than later. So for definite, we are missing 2 drivers tonight. One of them being the man in the comms box with me. The other being Matty7 Gamer. Unfortunately,
quite a few debuts.
He is he's having to work this evening, so he will not be racing. But yeah, as you said, so we've got quite a few debutants. TJH, of course, first time anyone's actually seen him in an F1 capacity. He made his debut in ACC a couple of weeks ago. That is back this Friday, by the way, guys. ACC back this Friday. So keep an eye out for that. Kira is making her debut in Tier 1, as is just Geordie. Chloe is a brand new driver completely. She never had the chance to race when we were F1 RL, so this is her debut here as well. Corbin has gone, oh damn, TJH just quit. But it's literally just filling in as a reserve, Michael. Just because, as I said, we had someone that literally left the server, I kid you not, 10 minutes ago. So, I think, as I said, we should have 18 total if Semper raced. We're just looking, so Semper would have jumped into the Mercedes, so that would have been that seat, that would have been Swayze's seat there, and then that would have been Heist. So we're still waiting for...
I think we're just missing... No, Raver's in. Yeah.
Raver Chile is in, but HT1D Raver is
Chile.
not. Don't know if Tice is joining or not.
Good turnout tonight.
But
Good
yeah,
turnout
I mean,
so far,
it is. We've got 15, which is all good. Let me just... that, just get some confirmation from a family member related to Mr. HT1D Raver. He is sweet. All holds for quite fast.
You know, I haven't actually raced this track on this week. I know from previous experience, this is one of the tracks, or previous, let's say, one of the tracks with the lowest tyre wear out there. You should be able to one-stop it from soft to medium, or medium to soft. So, that should introduce... I think that's what makes it such a good track to use for. So, you get so much more action because the drivers get to stay on the softer compound tyres throughout the race.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely opens up for one spot. We shall see what people do. Sempar is supposed to be coming in to the Mercedes seat alongside Mr. Goose. So we should have, providing everyone is in, we should have 19. No, 18.
Is it because I'm just quietly talking instead of getting all excited, Carmen?
I think game sound is a bit high. It might just be because Swayze's not high enough. Because if I remember rightly, I turned Swayze down. I did. I turned Swayze down after the stream on Saturday. So if I do this, and then tell Swayze to talk...
I'll whisper. Very necessary.
Don't fucking whisper, you bastard. Yeah, Formel, we're just going to wait for HT1D Raver to come in and potentially someone else for the Mercedes, and then we'll be good. So just hang fire for a little bit, bud.
Thanks, Corbin.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it's because I forgot I turned him now.
Which is sometimes necessary to do.
Yes, because you are naturally a very, 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 very loud human being.
Well, I'm going to put the human in there, but you know.
Okay, very, very loud pain in the back. That one makes sense more?
Yeah, that'll do.
That one's slightly more accurate. There is Mr. Goose. Papa Goose is here in the chat. Well, hello, Mr. Goose. How are you? So we've got 16. We should have Semper, but Semper doesn't seem to be arriving.
So is that full quality or still short?
We don't do full quality in Tier 2 yet, do we?
That's it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, I tend to crash out of them. Or get disqualified.
It's a good point. Yeah, you don't have nothing from my brother. I have called him. In that case, go, boys. Green light, go.
Let's get this tier 2. Tier 2? Tier 2?
Tier 2?
No. Tier 2? Let's get this tier 2 show on the ring.
Indeed. Let's diddly do this. So, yes, this is obviously tier 2. This is round 6. TS Leclerc has moved teams. Now, he was previously in the Ferrari team. Now moving over to Williams, teaming up with A. Jackson. His seat's been taken by Sainz, who teams up with Just Geordie. Go to bed, Swayze, you're drunk, says Noodle. He's not drunk, Noodle.
Got toes, and it's not that, it's just got toes on the brain from the surgery.
Right, it's going to do what we normally do, guys. I'm for an SFR stream. I'm just going to quickly reset the gameplay. So we should be back in just a second.
Who have come over into tier 2 with this merger, not knowing some of the drivers. Constant Ryan is our current reigning tier 1 champion.
He is indeed.
It's nice to see him in the chat tonight, giving us our support.
Always nice to see you in the chat, Shane. Appreciate you coming in. And it's going to be weird for Swayze as well, because he can't say Constant Ryan doing Constant Ryan things, and that Swayze is very dark.
That is a little bit dark, yeah.
That's dark, Swayze.
I don't think I've ever seen rain at Russia.
That is dark. This could be wet.
I'd say it's overcast.
This could genuinely be wet. This could be quite fun.
Looks like they are currently on dry tyres.
But Just Geordie is going to be the first man out, the Ferrari driver. Closely followed by, I think that's one of the Alpha. Well, I say one of the Alpha.
It's actually Formel who's the first driver out.
It is
he
Formel.
Snuck out. The Haas is right down at the end of the pit lane, so he snuck out. We're like, you
snuck
him.
himself out very, very early. Does viewers Formel. James has confirmed no rain. No rain, Sway, so just dark. Just looking a little bit dark. Room for one. In terms of on-comms, Mr. Carbon, you can come and join us in the comms box if you so wish, my friend. You're more than welcome. Race, probably. You can come in reserve if you want. You've got a Mercedes or an Alfa Romeo or a Haas.
Get in there quick. Get that qualifying in.
At least then we can get a fuller grid.
Of course, Alpaca Carbon, quite a competent driver.
He is very, very competent driver. He's Mr. Alpaca Carbon, who I think may need to have a. I think he needs to have a meeting with the owners saying with SFR. We have some things we must discuss, but that is for off-stream. Potential announcements pending. here comes Kewers Formel on his hot lap.
Everything's always pending in SFR.
It is for now. It is for now. But we are still in this little...
We like it that way, though. We like to keep you all on the edge of your toes.
We are still in this little changeover period, obviously, with myself now joining the ownership team and no longer having a head admin, so that needing to be re-advertised and things like that. So, yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. Let's see what Mr. Formel can do. One thing I will say, for those who may not have driven Russia in the past, track limits are a pain in the backside. And I think Swayze will agree.
They can be. They can be, but I mean, there's always a limit on this track where I think you can push the envelope out. It was something I was going to mention, if I'm on board with Formel there. As we go around this corner, the little orange curbs on the inside of the curbs, you can actually almost push them to running over that to cut in the corners. However, having not driven it on this game yet, and the way this game, the curbs are, that's going to make it interesting, whether they'll kill you. But the curbs here, I think, are all pretty much flat, not really much camber or on them, so you might not see as many deadly curbs here as we do in other places.
Dom the Noodle in chat goes, track limits are as consistent as the FIA in real life. So, following Kewers Formel crossing the line, just Geordie goes 0.3 faster, so he's currently provisional pole position. And TES Big Wheel has come in with a 1:33.2 on the medium tyre. As Avtex Flames comes in, 32.6 on mediums. We've got Goose coming around the final corner now. It is indeed. Goose crosses the line, goes P5, a 33.8. And then we've got... I think it's going to be your teammate, Mr. Swayze. It is going to be your teammate. Raver Chile crosses the line now, a 36.5. That was invalid. Unfortunately.
It must have been, yeah. No time down, but
A. Jackson.
gotta hold those points for the Alpine.
32.8 for A. Jackson on debut.
Good to see him back in the car and track. A driver I know from previous seasons, a driver that's had a lot of pace in him before, and another good addition to the league.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely is. Teaming up with TES Leclerc. As we saw TM Cody there go P5 with a 1:32.9. Who else have we got next across the line? I assume it's going to be Formel going back. Formel's gone even faster. 32.4, 0.7 there by Kewers Formel. Let's see who will be next. Dom, or is it James? It's going to be James.
Looking at the current times that we have posted, Aztec Flames time is looking pretty decent for say he's on the medium tyre.
Yeah. Leclerc, get out of my car, says Constant Ryan. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love the camera.
Hey Ryan, car don't make the driver.
Where's Papa Goose? Coming into the pits is Papa Goose. I'm going to assume that A. Jackson will be doing something very, very similar. There is Alpaca Carbon. He's going to jump into a car for us this evening as well. Help us pad out this grid just that little bit more. Always appreciative of drivers, the way that they do that for us. James coming back around. Nope. Who have we got? Someone coming now. Not sure who.
I think it's an Aston Martin, is it?
Oh, it's Dom.
Dom?
It was Dom starting a lap. It was Dom the Noodly Poodly starting a lap. Kewers Formel definitely now
Formel,
on an in-lap. 6 seconds slower.
Yeah, it probably is.
So definitely on an in-lap here is the pass driver. There he goes into the pits. And we look for, where is Mr. Big Will?
Yeah, on an in-lap as well.
Into the pits as well does Will. James has invalidated once again, so he's going to come into the pits once more. Sykes is still in the pits. He's not come out yet. Just Geordie.
I tell you what, I'm currently on board with Dom, who is going around on the mediums on his first flying attempt, and he's purpled 1.
Quickly jump
Looking good for Dom at the moment.
down to TJH, see what TJH can do, reserving for us tonight. 32-1 from TJH, reserving in the McLaren this evening. Hello, 'tis I, Generation A. Generation A, hello, welcome. Thank you for supporting the junior tier here in SFR. Greatly appreciated, my friend. TS Leclerc is on an outlap. We've got Flo also on an outlap. She's about to start her lap.
Dom's just coming around the final 2 corners to set his first lap.
Indeed. So we'll see what Dom the Noodle can do as he comes up to the line now. 33-1 by Dom the Noodle.
A little bit slower after such a good start to that.
Stands. That's going to be Raver, HT1D Raver, that is, rather than Chile. Just starting a lap. And who else is
That's the way you say that, Chile.
Chile. Got to give him that little twin. Where's Kira? Kira is coming through sector 2.
He's just behind TJH now, who is, I think he's on an in-lap, isn't he?
Going to be able to get past TJH. I think she may actually be the next person to cross the line. We will stay on board.
I think she's on an out-lap.
Yes, no, she isn't.
Oh, big moment for
Goose.
Papa Goose.
Oh, he's facing
Spinned it off a curb on his
the
out.
wrong way. Oh, reverse for,
now.
yeah,
Right.
don't reverse for too long, Mr. Goose, because you will get in trouble.
Get cute.
Indeed.
Go in the wrong direction.
There's Mr. Science. Give himself some space.
So who is now actually on a lap? Lead car on a lap. I know Kira's now actually on her lap. Raver, HTI Raver is in section 3 and he is on a hot lap.
Want to cross the line. Chloe does cross the line herself, actually goes P10 with a 135.2. And someone else with a slight improvement, I think. Dom the Noodle up to P5. 32.7 there for Dom, I believe.
So yeah, definitely an improvement because he was in the 33s.
So 34.6 there by HT1D Raver. I assume the tier 1 drivers are reserved. So what it was, Generation A, some of the tier 1 drivers were previously part of the league before it was taken over by SFR. So what they've agreed to do is they're going to continue racing for now, but once we've got enough numbers to run a full grid for us, as Raver goes very airborne then, jeez, almost puts himself into a wall, as TS Leclerc goes second. Once we've got enough guys to completely fill out a tier 2 grid, the tier 1 drivers will all drop out at the same time, and we'll then run it that way as tier 1 drivers in tier 1 and tier 2 drivers in tier 2. But for now, we have got tier 1 drivers helping us out.
Kira unfortunately hasn't validated her lap. So Science just
thing.
behind.
Just Geordie is retired from... Oh, I think Geordie's crashed. I think Geordie's crashed.
Alfa Romeo? No, there's not one on track. There's no Alfa Romeo dots on track.
No, Geordie's in a Ferrari, bro.
Oh yeah, in that case, yeah, just at the start of section 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on board with Raver and just see what's up. This game has just removed the car. Oh no. Where is he? Just removed his car as we got... Oh no. That's weird. I actually see it on track. Very strange. Very. Here's Mr. Alpaca Carbon.
Mr. Yep, just coming around the final few corners.
Indeed.
Also opted to do his initial run on the medium tyre. TS Leclerc, while we were talking, snuck one into second place on the medium.
There is Alpaca, 32 dead on the mediums.
You know, it doesn't look like at the moment, unless there's pure skill difference, there's much difference in time between the softs and the mediums.
No.
Not as much as it can be in other circuits.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's see what Kira can do. Kira is still on a valid lap at the moment. She's coming around the final corner now. What can Kira do on debut? Puts herself P11 with a 33.6. Very good time by Kira. DO4. Kicks are DO4.
Mr. Science.
Science has invalidated
Invalidated
again. I think what might make this even worse for Science is he's got a this and next lap invalidation because his track
And he
map
also
is
has
still red.
0 ERS.
His track map
Yeah,
is red.
yeah.
So he has actually had a this and next. So James is going to be...
That might be a case.
James is also
Hop in the
invalidated.
pits.
Yeah, James has also invalidated his lap. He'll probably have to come into the pits as well. 18 of you wonderful, wonderful people, members of the SFR family here watching the Tier 2 debut here on the SFR channel. So, greatly appreciated. Stomping Penguin, thanks for the host, my friend. Did just miss that.
Is back out on the start.
notifications. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Let's see who is first up on track. Assuming a pack can come in.
He has to just fight round the final corner now. See if he can improve it. Doesn't.
The Goose has invalidated.
Yeah.
She's a slow lap. Be a slower lap from Kira. Expecting Science to come into the pits.
I think our teammate Raver will be on an outlet. So what's the Red Bull? Is that Kerber?
No, Science is going round again.
Well, he has no choice because that was invalidated before he started, as you pointed out there.
He has one shot at this, and he's on 3 lap old. He has one shot at this.
Yeah, but I think if there's any track where you can run an extra few laps in qualifying and get away with it, it's going to be this one.
Yeah.
Because
it's not as horrific in terms of tyre wear. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Someone going slowly in the chicane. And we've got some slow moving cars up in sector 2 as well. We're going to stay with Chloe though, as she starts her lap. One of 2 female drivers we have here in Tier 2, the other obviously being Kira. The debut race for both of the ladies of SFR Tier 2. It's fantastic to see.
definitely, I agree with that. It's always good to see a mixed variety and more females getting into not just the sport, but you know, the esports side of it as well.
Flo didn't seem to be too happy with the lap there, and
I think she might have just decided to get out of the way of Will.
She's on it. She's going quite slowly, so I think that is a disposal of that lap from a close point of view. Raver, HT1D, Raver is up on his time, ever marginally at the moment, but he is up on his time. We'll see if he can string together these last couple of corners and improve. Currently P14 as it stands. And he's invalidated on that penultimate corner. Would that have been an improvement though? No, it would have been slower. Would have been slower for him. We're going to go down to Raver Chile now. That's definitely not Raver Chile. That's Raver Chile. He comes around the final corner. Currently P17. Can he improve? He can. Goes up to P12. TS Leclerc retires from the session in the pits.
And I mean, Science did get a timing on those mediums eventually.
He has indeed, up until 11.
And it's quite tight between him and Raver Chile as well.
It is indeed. You've got what, 22 thousandths of a second-ish, I think? No. 18 thousandths of a second, I believe, between the two. No.
Yeah.
It's whatever it is, it's close. Put it that way. Avtex Flames goes front row in the in the McLaren. Very, very good time from him. What else have we got around? Rover Chalet is coming through sector 2. HT1D Raver is going slower. Flo is in sector 1.
As
She has also
invalid.
gone slow. She is also invalid. Science is on go slow. I think Science has actually run out of fuel. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely think that Science has run out of fuel. Oh, we have another member of the McKinnon clan in the chat. Hello, other member of the McKinnon clan.
Speaking of, I think Big Will is on a lap.
On
And
the nose
I'm
of
sure when I clicked on,
the lead,
I'm sure when I
McKinnon
clicked him,
comes around the final corner now, moves himself up into second
Yep.
as the flag drops. Whew.
I definitely saw when I went
Turning
onto him
up
just as he was
as the
coming
family come in.
in sector 2. He was purple then, and I was just going to say that he's looking quick.
I don't think we've got anyone else on the hot laps, so that is going to bring us to the end of qualifying here in Russia with our Packer
Isn't Dom on one?
on pole. Oh wait, no, yes,
Isn't Dom the
He is.
noodle on the
he
lap?
is down though. He's a quarter of a second down on his lap at the moment, so it's not going to be much improvement. And Semper
And
now
we do have Semper
decides to
as
join.
well. Is he in time?
I don't actually know whether he's been able to join in time because the game
The actual session
is finished. So yeah, the session is finished. I don't actually think Semper's going to be able to take control of the car.
Dom purple too.
Ooh, here we go. We'll keep an eye on Dom. We'll stay with Dom the Noodle. See what he is able to do. I didn't see the second sector split when I can speak English. That is a bit of a tongue twister. And Dom the Noodle puts it on pole! He's put it on pole! He's put it on pole in the Aston
go.
Martin. Talk about leaving it late. Dom the Noodle puts that Aston Martin on pole position by 26 thousandths of a second.
Look, that 0.26, 0.42, 0.92. How close is that top
Okay.
four? And not only that, between two different compounds of tyre. We literally go soft, medium, soft, medium, soft,
It is
medium.
indeed. So
all the way
Noodle,
down to
Carbon,
six.
Will, Flames, TJH, Leclerc, Formel, Geordie, Kirby, A Jackson, Raver Chile, Science, Kira, Papa Goose, HT1D Raver, Chloe, and James round out your qualifying grid. We are going to go lights out at half past. Dom, lights out, half past.
Dom.
4 minutes.
Dom the Noodle in chat there letting us know that he cocked up the first sector by full 3 tenths. So, more time to be had by Dom there. If he'd have got it right. Oh, it looks brighter in this
Yes,
session.
indeed, sir. Anyone who is listening from Tier 2, do not ready up until 8:30. In fact, don't ready up at all. Let the race controllers by the names of Dom the Noodle, TS Leclerc, and TS Big Will, let them ready up. Nobody else ready up. So set your strategies and then put your controllers or your wheels down, because you don't need them until you see the lights go out for the formation lap. So, Mr. Sways, you've raced quite a few of these guys in Tier 2 for 5 races so far.
Yeah.
Was there anything from that qualifying session that surprised you?
I'm going to say Aztec Flames was looking really quick on those mediums earlier. Obviously, I'm not going to include any of the Tier 1 drivers that do race in there. Good to see Jackson back on track. Obviously, feeding in quite well, but I don't know, it's always been close at the top in this division, and close throughout the mid-pack. I would have liked to have seen, after the start of the season, Raver Chile maybe a little bit higher. I know he's got the speed in him. So,
Benji, thanks for the follow, bud.
but he's on the right tyre for the race.
He is indeed. You can see, so the top 10 will be set to the tyres that they qualified on. But it will be TS Leclerc, Avtech Flames, and Alpaca Carbon, who are all on mediums. Everyone else will be on soft, and to be fair, it looks like everyone other than HT1D Raver and Quo are going on to soft.
Kieran,
Hello.
is that an Aston Martin at the end of the pit lane?
It is, because with the new update, those who haven't played the Formula 1 game yet today, Portimao has now finally been added to the game. You may see Portimao, you may see a Portuguese Grand Prix. Rever Chile, thank you for the follow, buddy. Appreciate it, my dude. You may see a Portuguese Grand Prix here in Tier 2 at some point. Not going to give any hints yet. But, yeah, we could see a Portuguese Grand Prix. And it means we have the addition of the Aston Martin safety car. And Russia is one of those tracks where you can get it.
Of course, we're not wishing anybody to crash.
I mean, we're not asking for someone to die and set off a safety car. But I mean, if someone could potentially set off a safety car, it'd be greatly appreciated, because then it means we get to look at the Aston Martin safety car. But no, on a serious level, guys, don't. No one intentionally wreck, for God's sake. Nobody intentionally wreck, please. I'm interested in what happened with Leclerc. He's not usually that far down on an opposite tyre start. I don't know, mate. I don't know. You'd have to ask the man himself. You would have to ask the man himself. But we are getting very, very close now to the start of
it's different. But I got that covered, Kieran. It's called sandbagging. I should know about that.
It will. Yes, Generation A will be added to the Tier 1 calendar as well. Don't worry. We will be adding Portimao to the Tier 1 calendar. Rapid, I'll set a safety car off, give me an invite, and the rest will be history. Rapid, I love you, but no. And
he was there straight away in the chat on Saturday, of course, after the announcement, asking whether he could.
He did. To be fair, he did. He did. As soon as the announcement came out that we were having Tier 2, the first thing that happened was, can I join? So, to give a
I'm guessing Semper could not get a car.
To give a wonderful little F1 related quote. Oh no, the shoes! Let's see what shoes everyone's on. And as you can see, a lot of car sways have gone for that medium tyre.
Yeah, like it was looking from qualifying that there wasn't an overall massive difference between the two, maybe half a second to 3/4 of a second at a push. Obviously, the life of the tyres around here is long. A lot of people trying to opt for the reverse strategy. Of course, that does mean if we do get an early safety car, they're going to have to stay out, and they can't take the advantage of that free pit stop.
Very true. Very, very true. Dom the Noodle just making his way through Sector 2 now. Obviously, you don't want to go too far ahead, because, of course, the more time that you have sat in your pit box, the colder your tyres get. Constant Ryan's in chat. The cars do feel a lot nicer in the new update. Do have to move the bias to the front more, though, or spinner. It's very, very true. As Geordie and Formel have had a little tangle together, and they are both now going to have very, very cold tyres.
Banana.
It'll be interesting. We've been outdone by him. So, a bit of context, Vapid. Leclerc was already racing in Tier 2 before SFR took over. It's the only reason why he's still on the grid. Same goes for Noodle, Will. Kirby has dropped down to Tier 2, as has Science. Papa Goose, same goes for him as well as it is.
Do you know, I must say, on this track, one thing that tends to happen in my experience, you know, we all anticipate the turn one.
The madness
Here
into
it's
turn
not
one.
really
It's
turn
not turn
one.
one, it's turn three.
It's the kink in the straight.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 red lights. Oh, we've had some jump starts. We've had drive-throughs. We've had jump starts. Alpaca's got some absolutely fantastic starts. So is Big Will. It is lights out and away we go here in Russia. Will holds on to the left-hand side. Don the Noodle pulls to the middle of the track. He didn't try to make a move on Alpaca Carbon. Into the third real braking done here in Russia. Both run wide. TJH down the inside. And Flames as well. Raven's got some penalties as well. Oh, yellow flag. Someone's gone round. That's Chloe. Chloe has gone round. That's not ideal for the Red Bull driver on debut. But here is Alpaca Carbon and TJH there side by side. Someone's gone round. Will's in the wall.
That's Big Will. He's in the wall. 5 seconds.
Penalty for Formel, gaining
at the same
position.
time. I'm not sure if there was contact there.
Oh, jeez. That is a madness start to this Russian Grand Prix race.
It is. We're on the yellow flag in 1 and 2. No VSC displayed at the moment. No safety car
Goose.
displayed at the
Papa
moment.
Goose.
We
It's
have
Goose. He's
Papa
round.
Goose in a wall. It is all go. I mean,
Yes, Lewis, this is such
what a
a
launch onto the channel.
This is Sashi. Yeah, first race on the SFR channel, and whew, that's a little madness start for you all there. TJ Hayes does lead now as the smoke has cleared. You see everyone getting into their regular positions. TJH, the reserve driver, leads from Alpaca Carbon, another reserve driver. Avtex Flames in third for the McLaren team. Dominoodle fourth. Geordie in fifth. Leclerc down in sixth, who's going to come into the pits and serve that drive-through penalty. I'm pretty sure someone else picked up the drive-through as well. Yeah, Avtex Flames. It's Flames. Yeah, so Leclerc's going to serve his drive-through. Leclerc's going to serve his drive-through. Flames also needs to serve his drive-through. I really hope that he's remembered that he has that drive-through. But I hate to see him
They
get
do
disqualified.
have 3 laps.
What a move by Noodle!
Dom sent one of the inside.
What a move by Noodle!
But yeah, I believe they have 3 laps to serve it in.
They do.
Or 3 racing laps.
They do indeed. So that is Leclerc, Will, and Pavagoose all coming into the pit for new.
Flames is coming back up the inside.
He make that stick. Dom gets a better
Didn't have
traction.
the exit speed.
Dom gets a better traction out, and he's going to hold onto the position there from Avtex Flames.
As long as the medium driver of Flames can stay right there.
Oh, Geordie!
You know, oh, Geordie! Right
Going around the
outside.
outside. What a move! What a move
Incredible
by
stuff.
Geordie! Around the outside of Avtex Flames. And Kirby's going to look to try and get involved in the action as well now.
River Chili just got 4 men in the background there, moving himself into 7th
Oh,
place.
Geordie goes
Joining
wide!
all of them. Whoa! 4 mil coming back at him.
Ooh, Geordie, why are you an
Did not
AI?
see that coming.
Geordie, why are you an AI, my friend? Hopefully you're an AI to make a clip there, because being an AI for that long, my friend. I'm just saying.
As we do have Aztec Flames now popping in to do his drive-through penalty.
Yes, indeed.
Alpaca Carbon sets the fastest lap.
DRS has now been enabled.
All goes. Raven. Yeah, Raven.
Raven Chile is on P7.
No. Yeah. I think that's just because Flames
Yeah,
fitted through
Kira
drive-through,
is
though. I
going
don't
to,
think
with that
was an
DRS
overtake.
assist, potentially make a move on her teammate. Holds off for now, but...
Oh, James is up the
Ooh,
inside
James
of
up the
Kira, though.
inside, though. What a move by James, the Aston Martin. Kira's going to fight back, though. Going to try and see if she can pin the car in alongside that Aston Martin. Hopefully there's no contact between these two drivers. They're side by side. Oh, Kira gets a 3-second time penalty, though. And there he comes, Andrew Jackson.
Just on her right.
On the inside of Kira. Williams driver makes the move there. Ajaxon up into P11 ahead of Kira.
Trying to keep up with all of the splits there. As Alpaca Carbon is closing in on TJH as well.
And this, ladies and gents, is why we wanted to bring Tier 2 into SFR. Because you get action like this. TJH and Alpaca Carbon swapping the lead.
And Ajaxon and the HPID Raver swapping positions backwards and forwards there as they're closing in at the right rate of knots with that DRS on James. I think he's going to get double overtake through that straight as Jackson, and he has.
He has indeed. And Raver gets past Kira as well. A Jackson up into P9 now. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that is just Papa Goose's car coming back out of the pits, having already retired. Goose is not happy. He's not happy with how his races have gone. Unlucky, my friend. Ooh, very, very wide there around the final corner. TJH.
I think that was Raver that was wide, and Claire was the one behind. And I was on board. Whoa! What the hell?
Ooh.
Was that?
What?
Really, really slow Mercedes. Did you not see that really slow car on the right side of the track?
So that is Goose's DNF car. The game's taken the car back out of the pits.
What? And then parked it
on the straight. Yeah. Raven Chalet gets past Guers Formel up into P6 whilst Swayze was being Swayze. Packer trying to hunt down TJH here. We are on lap 4 with that DRS assist. The DRS assist is so overpowered here in Russia. Angry Goose noises. There's Goose in the chat. Obviously these two guys know each other very, very well from other leagues. So they know how each other drive.
Well, now looking to come back at Raver Chile, getting the better exits.
Kira gets herself past Raver.
Packer Carbon now just 2 tenths surely this time down the main street with a DRS. It's got to be right.
You think so? And we keep an eye on the battle between Kirby and Raver Chile, Kirby and Jordan.
Yeah, he's going to go down the inside now.
With the DRS assist now. He's going to pull to the right and go up the inside of Jordy. And that is P4 gets pushed wide. Jordy uses the correct route.
Alpaca Carbon got the move done with the DRS down the straight, but TJH tried to come back into the braking zone on the softer compound and ended up going deep into the runoff.
Side by side, who's going to pin it in first? Jordy gets a much better traction out of the corner compared to Kirby, and that is just Jordy back ahead of the Red Bull driver into P4. As Dom the Noodle is now within striking distance of TJH, he has that all-important DRS. He's within a second of TJH just, in fact, has he just fallen out? He did, he fell out of DRS.
He is, you cursed him.
He fell out of DRS range.
Gotta
love a bit of Sways, you know as much as I do. I love a commentator. Oh, yellow flag in sector 2.
We're phenomenal at it.
Someone further back. Not sure where it was or who it was. Cloak it from a 3-second time penalty. And Mr. Goose has left the session. We're on board with Kira around the inside of James. And he's able to pull away from that Aston Martin driver who I think could potentially have damage.
Of course, there is damage that you can pick up on the floor panels that we are unable to see.
It's the fact that he is missing an end plate. He is getting very quickly past.
It's definitely flopped.
Leclerc is indeed on the hunt. There is Leclerc. Oh, Mr. Benji.
And Raver Chile on Kerber. We've got that move done nicely down there for a DRS.
There's your teammate there, Mr. Swayze, into P5.
You want to look at the TJ Hayden now? Fuck it.
It's so close to one another.
And Dom is now right there as well, now within under half a second. These three at the front.
Dom
really tasty.
Stealing pole position from Alpaca right at the end of qualifying. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens here. If these guys come onto the second DRS straight now.
Raven Chile now in fifth position on the hunt for just Jordan.
Indeed, just under a second is the gap. Raven Chile obviously on the medium tyre. Dom almost went for one of his famous dive bombs.
I'm watching from Dom's point of view at the back and in front because you're just looking at TD8 swerving all over, just showing that car to Alpaca in the mirrors.
Kirby very much on the back of Raven Chile again now. potentially look to see a move there from the Red Bull driver. It's 2 groups of 3. We've got the 1, 2, 3 battle there, and then the 5, 6, 7 battle just behind it. It's Viewers Formel is getting involved as well. How you doing, Lewis?
Look at how much. Look at how much gap the front two managed to get on Dom with that bad exit. It's going to go. In fact, TJ is going to send one up the inside.
Indeed, he makes it stick as well. Leclerc puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 35.3.
I don't know that.
Packer's going to cut on. Packer is definitely coming back. Is he going to go for a late move? No, decides against it. Just going to sit behind TJ H.
Safety first.
He's going to potentially just sit behind him and just wait for that other DRS.
I tell you, I'm genuinely surprised at how much the bad exit dropped Dom back. He was just unable to do nothing down that straight after that exit.
Yeah. You have a fan in the chat, Mr. Swayze. One of the younger Big Will clan has said hello. I believe it's Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday night, and this exciting.
Indeed. Talk about excitement. On the note of excitement, Alpaca Carbon looked for a potential move on TJH there. Got side by side with the McLaren. Wasn't able to get past him. Leclerc has, however, got past Kira up into P10.
Dom has managed to catch that gap right back up now and is in range. See if he can get around this final corner without having such a bad exit.
See if we can do this time. Looks like a much better exit this time. Alpaca and TJH both move to the right. They're now moving back across to their normal places. Here comes Dom the Noodle. You can just see how OP that overspeed is. Alpaca's going to get the lead of the race potentially if TJ's going to come back. Dom the Noodle now. Ooh, bit of a snap there by Dom.
He's going to switch it back to the inside though.
He's going to hit a hold it there. TJH shoot. Ooh, that was close. TJH gave the room.
Racing.
This is fantastic. Raven Chile and Josh Geordie side by side. Geordie around the outside of Raven Chile. Woo! Jeez. Action everywhere you look here in Russia.
Trying to keep up with
Welcome to Tier 2, ladies and gentlemen, here in SFR. It is your Tier 1 comms team, here in Right 92 and TES Swayze. For now, Swayze is going to be hopefully jumping back onto the track in a few weeks' time, just recovering from some surgery at the moment. All of you Swayze fans, don't panic, it's nothing serious. He will be back being his normal Swayze self in the very near future.
So crashing.
I want that first. Fortunately to say to the younger members of the Big Will fan club, the guy's currently down in P15. He's not having the best of races at the moment. I think he's been quite unlucky as Will.
Like I said, I'm not sure if there was actual contact. I think there may have been early on the way the car went round on Will. I didn't actually manage to see it, but I'm just looking at
shot the inside.
Where's Dom?
Alpaca.
Dom's quite far back this time.
They're side by side again. This is
Still side by side.
This is an insane battle between these two.
Still side by side.
And this is just opening the door for Dom. They're not going to go 3 wide, surely. Dom's just a little bit too far back to be able to get involved just yet.
They're
still going. You see how close these guys are to one another. Here comes Dom now. Dom's going to try and get involved in the party as well.
Oh, he's going to flick one to the inside.
Is Dom going to make it stick against TJH? He's not yet. Alpaca gets a chance to put away. Here comes Dom around the outside of TJH. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh.
This is insane racing.
I mean,
what would I like to see?
I think these guys know that they're on the main SFR channel. Jeez. Talk about
Alpaca Corbin has picked up a penalty and all of that though somewhere along the line.
That's going to be very, very interesting for the SFR stewarding team to deal with. Here comes TES Science around the inside of Formel. Under the braking zone, Formel's going to look to try and come back on the Ferrari driver. Both Ferrari powered engines, but it is going to be the Ferrari of TES Science. It's going to hopefully, I don't know. I don't know, Formel.
Whether you've noticed this, Kieran.
Oh, a little bit of contact there. Formel has gone round. What's up, Swayze?
So I don't know if you've noticed this, but while this battle's been going on between those top three, the gap is coming down between just Geordie and Raver. They're catching.
It is indeed. They are very much catching each other. On the note of Raver Chile, here he comes with the overspeed. With the DRS assist, not able to make the move just yet. Formel comes into the pits, picks up a little bit of damage following the contact between himself and TES Sights. And here comes Chile. Raver Chile on the inside. What a move! Is he going to be able to make it stick though against Geordie? He is. Yes, he makes it stick. That is Raver Chile up into P4. What a move by the Alpine driver. And that will make Swayze and Lewis in the chat very, very happy, because that is the Alpine moving further up the grid here in Russia.
Definitely helping the team with all the constructor points. Need as many as I can while I'm away, and I'll try and do my best when I do get back.
Indeed. Formel into the pits, onto the fresh set of mediums now with HD1D Raver on the soft tyre now. After his pit stop. What would you say is the optimum time to come into the pit, Swayze?
I don't know, but this is what I'm saying. If you look now between... Oh, wait a minute, sorry, I'm just being...
Ooh, Geordie! He went airborne! Geordie went airborne!
Do we want to blame those sausage curds again?
I mean, it looked like it was a bit of Russian sausage that sent Geordie into the air, I'm not going to lie. Kirby made a move on Dom! Not sure what's happened to Noodle, but Noodle's falling by the wayside here.
He must have had a
Kirby
moment.
and Noodle both coming into the pit. Raver Chile up to P3 now.
I'm just going to keep an eye on that if there is any form of damage or wine, or if whether
We've got a few guys that are into the pits now. In fact, Kirby's left the session, but hasn't retired.
No wing change at all for Dom the Noodle. He just goes on to the mediums.
Wait, do you want to just drop Kirby another invite? It says he's left the session, but left the time. Hopefully that wasn't a retirement by Kirby and he's just forgotten to retire the car, and it was just a disconnect. So we'll try and get Kirby back into the lobby. But as you can see,
That's been done.
Alpaca still leads 1.4 seconds now between him and TJH.
I'm just actually wondering,
between himself
because I
and
was
TJH.
going to say,
Yeah, go on, Swayze.
you had TGH and of course Dom the Noodle in between Alpaca Carbon and Raver Chile, who were both on the mediums, and the two in between were on the soft. I was just wondering whether it might have been a tactical to try and get an undercut on TJH.
Potentially.
But there was that split moment where you did say, like, we noticed he had dropped back out of the fight a little bit, so...
I was wondering whether there was a little bit of damage there on the Noodle, but we shall see. Is Carbon coming in? No. TJH is coming into the pits, though. TJH comes into the pits from second place. Keep an eye
up
on...
into 7th, is catching flames.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Dom the Noodle, see whether the undercut from Dom worked. Where's TJH? He's just coming into his pit box now. Oh, it's a wing change as well for TJH. But that's really going to open the door for Noodle. Actually, saying that though,
there for Dom. Yeah, he's quite far back. He's not even at the final two corners.
Dom's a bit of a way back. TJH is on his way out now. Leaves the
something must have happened.
Now does TJH. There is Noodle. Who's going to get out first? Can Dom the Noodle beat TJH out of the pits? There is TJH. He can't. TJH staying out for that extra lap has helped Noodle. Potentially stuck in traffic. Was that Aston Martin?
Either that or it's due to...
Here comes Geordie up the inside of Dom. Oh no, we've lost Chloe. We've lost Chloe in sector 1.
Geordie got the move done.
He does. He does get that move done.
It's so unfortunate for Chloe. Dom picks up a time penalty.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have a quick look at the time penalty in just a second. No safety car. Just the yellow flag.
It's a long run off. I mean, but that was on the straight though.
I think
if you were going to get one, you would have thought.
I think this was a retirement in the pits against West, because that Red Bull's coming back out on track. So we could get another Papa Goose moment here. So drivers, if you are listening, watch out for that Red Bull. It might be sitting on your braking line. Kirby is back. Kirby is back in the race. And we didn't lose Kirby for too long, which is all good. We will still remain classified. Across the side of the track. There goes close Red Bull. Out of the way.
I think he's still ghosted from me at the moment.
Mr. Big Will, guys, down here in P13 as it stands.
The science is put. Why is he on? Oh, that's hard.
Kirby disconnects again. It's just Geordie hits fast lap of the Grand Prix. Science on the hard. Very interesting decision there by TS Science. Bailey.
Just Geordie on TJH.
He's got it.
Oh, he's going to get someone.
TJH obviously goes off tracks that has to use the runoff area.
Hard aggressive. But, oh, no, he's not got it.
TJH comes back at Geordie. Makes the move stick.
Oh, Dom's right there. Jackson now right behind Dom as well.
These two have had many a battle before. Geordie goes round!
Oh!
Geordie is round! Damage for Geordie! That's not ideal. Still no safety cars yet here in Russia.
Not even a VF.
No, nothing of any kind. Alpaca leads 4.9 seconds between himself and Raver Chile. TS Leclerc currently in third. Avtex Flames 4th. Kirby in 5th. TJH in 6th. Dom the Noodle 7th. Ajax in 8th. Hunting down Dom the Noodle though. US Formel in 9th with just Geordie running out your top 10.
I mean, what's interesting in him is going to find out. I don't know how long they'll go, but where Alpaca Carbon is going to feed out. I mean, hopefully, while these are battling, are they losing time to him? How long are the tyres going to go? So it'll be really interesting when.
Because the gap between Alpaca and Raven Chile was about 4.9, now 5.7. So Alpaca is very much pulling away from Raven Chile. Science picks up
top
the time
4 cars all.
Just Geordie into the pits now, going to have to replace the damage.
You see, Kirby must have pitted. Yeah, so Kirby, yeah, pitted. How is he ahead of TJH?
Kirby is also ghosted. We must quickly shoot him another one. He joined and then left again. I think Kirby may be having a couple of issues. He's less than ideal. There's Kirby.
Oh, he's just
He's just jumped in himself.
He did it.
Hopefully Kirby will be able to take control of his
So what lap did this off pit on? How many laps can they do?
pass. So
I'm gonna say
there's been so much madness in this Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
say
couldn't tell you.
it's within the last 2 or 3
I
laps.
couldn't tell you what
I'm
would
gonna say
have been
about
a stick
12.
stop and what wasn't. Geordie picks up another time penalty. 3 seconds for just Geordie.
I think we'll see the medium runners in within the next 2 laps, those who started on them and those still on them.
So that would be the top 4 cars. Top 2, sorry, actually. Are the only 2 that started on those cars.
I still don't understand. If Kirby is only on 2 lap old tyres, he must have pitted. How the hell is he ahead of TJ?
Check his race record. We'll see what it's going to do. We'll have to check on stop. Yeah, he's definitely stopped. The only cars that haven't stopped are top 4.
So how the hell did he get ahead of TJ? Because they were battling for the lead with Carbon and that lot.
TJH must have had a very, very bad less than ideal almost to TJH, but the battle is now on between TJH to try and catch back up to his teammate. I have to explain 2 reasons. Very much gaining on Kirby now. McLaren versus Red Bull.
That can't be well. Something's just happened to the fucking thingy, I think.
What, the intervals?
Because it's telling me that Kirby's only 0.33 behind Leclerc.
Yeah, because...
He clearly isn't on the track map.
No, that's because Kirby's on the second. When a driver jumps in, you know that screws up the time. Until everyone gets past the split, and then it will sort it out. Geordie, side by side with HT1D Raver. Mediums versus softs. Geordie's going to get the DRS assist though to get himself past that AlphaTauri. And TS Big Will. What a Big Will. Puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. 33.8 for TS Big Will. He is on fresh mediums. Yep, there he goes. TJH past Avtex Lanes. Up into P5 now for TJH. Odds on safety car. You know what, Andrew? I couldn't tell you, man. I genuinely could not tell you.
Honest, with some of the impacts, you might have thought there'd been one already.
Yeah, and there hasn't. Very, very
Andrew Jackson is looking really feisty on Dom the Noodle. Dom
Dom's
the
coming
Noodle
in.
is in the pits.
Dom's coming in, as is Flames.
This is Dom's second pit
This is
stop.
Dom's second stop. I'm wondering whether there's damage on the Aston Martin. I'm going to stay with Dom. Just as he comes into his pit box. We just want to see if there is damage, when they're going to change that wing. Is there a wing ready for Dom the Noodle? No, it is just tired. He's going onto the soft. That's a very, very interesting decision there by Dom the Noodle. Very, very interesting decision. Only thing I can assume is that he was worried with Ajax and catching up on him as the way he was, that he wouldn't have been able to keep it where he was on those tyres. So he's come onto the soft to try and get past his lap. Of course, Tier 2 does differ from Tier 1, guys. It's only the top 10. So it is regular Formula 1 point scoring for Tier 2 for this season. From next season, so from season 2.
It still wouldn't make sense going for the fastest
It
lap.
will be the SFR
you're going to
point
drop
system.
a good what? You know, a good 8-9 points drop there just to pick up one.
And the only person that could
He was running up in the.
He was up where he was up.
Once Alpaca in that long pit, you know,
Yeah,
out
he would've been up there.
Vegas.
On the note of Alpaca, he's in the pits, as is Raver Chile. Is Leclerc coming in? Leclerc also
Here
comes
we go.
in.
I will say on board with TGH, and we'll see where they pop out.
TJH is currently trying to get past Kirby. So we'll see whether these guys come out in prime position. All going to be going onto those soft tyres, of course.
He is going to pick
Is
up DRS off of
going
Kirby as
to
well.
take the lead of this Grand Prix? They are indeed. They are going to take the lead of this Grand Prix. Here comes TJH though,
Back to
up
Garmin.
the inside of
Where
Kirby.
is Jackson? It's going to be close. Jackson's got it with yes.
There is A. Jackson comes out just ahead, or comes out ahead of Raven Chile and just behind Alpaca Carbon.
I mean, with the amount that Kirby's been in and out, I can't figure out how he's in second.
Because Kirby has potentially found his calling. We're in Tier 2.
It looks that way. He's having a phenomenal race
He
at the moment.
is indeed having a fantastic race.
TJH still running penalty free. Andrew Jackson still running penalty free.
Under pressure from Big Will. Here comes Big Will with the move potentially on James. This is for P14. Unlike Tier 1, the top 15 do not get points in Tier 2. It is a regular Formula 1 point scoring system here in Tier 2 for this season. For Season 2 of Tier 2, we will use the SFR point system. But for now, because we've already done 5 rounds with the regular point scoring system for Formula 1, we're going to keep it that way for now.
Have to keep an eye on Alpaca Carbon. He's on with those fresh softs and
Here comes
closing
Big
in
Will up to the
rapidly.
inside of HT1B Rover. Mr. Big Will is a man on a mission now. US Formel picks up another 3-second time penalty. On the note of penalties, let's look at that penalty situation. Kirby and Alpaca, both with 3 seconds worth of time penalties, along with Raver Chile, Guias Formel. In fact, that was Formel's first penalty. Don the Noodle and Kira all on 3 seconds. 6 seconds for James and Sainz, 9 for Just Geordie, and 12 for Raver, who gets passed by James 4429 in the Aston Martin. We're going to jump back up to the top of the grid now though. Alpaca Carbon looking to try and make that move on TM Kirby. He's going to sit behind him for now. Look to use that DRS to his advantage around this next corner. We'll look to try and close up to TJH in the process. He is on those much faster, soft tyres. Kirby knows not to fight it, just pulls to the left, lets Alpaca through. Knows it's easier to do that.
Well, it's on the DRS as well,
Exactly.
isn't it?
The
Dan?
yeah,
the
the
overspeed with the
and
softer
stuff.
tyres as well.
Here comes Alpaca Carbon on the charge now for TJH. Raven Chile ahead of Leclerc.
This time, whoa, a little bit of a twitch there on the exit for TJH.
Flames gets
I was
himself
just about
past
to say,
Sainz.
this time, it is a role reversal. Last time during that battle, it was Alpaca Carbon on the mediums and TJH on the soft. Role reversal, but the battle continues. might get it now. Oh. TJH is going to make him go down the outside.
You know what? I think Alpaca may have to have pulled out.
Still side by side.
Are we gonna get another battle where these guys are side by side for 4 corners?
Yes.
They're still there. He's still there. TJH is still there. He's still there. Alpaca does shut the door, and Alpaca gets the lead of the Grand Prix once again.
I've got to say, I'm really impressed with A. Jackson at the moment. He's having such a good race with so much time away.
Positions. Sainz had to use the off run. I think he's going to hand that position back to Dom the Noodle. He does. I think Sainz felt he took the position illegally from Noodle there. Hands it back to the Aston Martin.
Well pointed out there. Well pointed out there in the chat. Currently 4th and 5th, the teammates of Jackson and Leclerc. Williams in for some good points.
They are, indeed. Of course, this would actually be the first time the Williams team are able to actually earn points here in SFR Tier 2. Merc boys do.
What a debut drive so far from Jackson.
Yes, fantastic drive by A. Jackson, to be fair to him. Kirby as well. Quite a few of the debutants, to be fair. Yeah. Kirby's had a very good race. A. Jackson's had a very good race. Akira's kept herself out of trouble, and she's within. I mean, if she can try and close that gap up a little bit between herself and Sainz, she could genuinely get herself some points here.
Got the fastest lap.
Leclerc 33's there for TAS Leclerc. TJH within about 7/10 of Alpaca Carbon as it stands. Alpaca looking to now try and pull away from those around him. Try and control that lead. Ooh, Sainz in the pits. You got damn it.
Probably, I don't know, might be getting off to the hard tyres.
No, it's a new front wing.
There is a wing change.
It's a wing change.
Yep, there is a wing change.
So that promotes Kira. As it stands, Kira is in the points. We probably won't for this season, Generation A, purely because we're using different point systems. So it'd just be a little bit confusing with the 2 different point systems we're using. But from season 2 of Tier 2, we will definitely do a combined constructor standings. You can obviously still cheer on your Williams teammates in the Tier 2 side of things. We are.
Gaps are starting to open up just that little bit now.
Indeed, now. Alpaca Carbon does lead this Grand Prix though in the Haas. James comes into the pits from P15, puts a set of soft tyres on.
Leclerc is now within, he was within DRS. I don't know if he got it though. I think he did.
Can confirm he did not. James gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Alpaca Carbon's got to try and bridge a 3-second gap between himself and TJH if he wants to grab the race win here in Russia.
6 laps remaining to do it.
Yes, indeed.
We are fast running out. Like, this race has gone so fast.
It has.
Leclerc now is definitely within that second of his teammates.
Indeed, and Dominido comes into the pits with another set of soft tyres. Raver picks up a 3-second time penalty. He now drops down to the 11 for Dom the Noodle. Big Will gaining on Dom the Noodle, gets past Noodle as Noodle was leaving the pits. You know what? Big Will got caught up in a little bit of drama at the start of the race. He's done very well to fight back to P11. He's 4.7 seconds at the moment away from just Jordan. And he is gaining on that on that Ferrari.
Yeah, and just only has 9 seconds compared to Big Will's 3.
Exactly. So there's also that extra 6 seconds to play for Will. So Will could genuinely get himself some points. Big Will could genuinely get himself some points. Leclerc has got past A. Jackson. Jackson's going to look to try and come back at his teammate now with that DRS.
I'm just wondering whether there was damage to Dom the Noodle's car or why he would pit for the 3rd time.
I'm not sure.
Because He's now outside of the top 10, so even if he does get the fastest lap, he ain't going to get the point for it.
Not. He will not get the fastest lap point. Kirby picked up another 3-second time penalty.
It's right now on the clock, 2.7 the gap. It's going to be close towards the end of this.
Very close between Alpaca and TJH. He's so close to being able to break that 3-second gap.
I'll tell you what,
Alpaca needs.
in the meantime, while we've been talking, Jackson has closed. Oh, Leclerc's had Jackson, yeah. And Leclerc has closed right up on Kirby.
Kirby does have a 3-second time penalty to his name. No, sorry, Kirby has 6 seconds worth of time penalty. So that could drop Kirby down quite a bit. I'll put the penalties back on screen there so you can have a proper look, guys. As Dom Noodle picked up a penalty. 3 seconds apiece for Alpaca, Raver Chile, US Formel, Avtex Flames, and Big Will. 6 seconds for Kirby, Kira, Dom the Noodle. 9 for Jordy and James. 12 for Science.
James, who on the lap down, may have just saved Kirby. I don't know, he gave it, obviously Kirby would have picked up DRS from James. It might just give him that chance to...
From the club.
A bit wide.
Leclerc goes round the outside, though, does make that move. That is PS Leclerc up into P3. Potentially now be a Jackson who just picked up a penalty.
Just picked up a penalty, yeah.
First penalty as well.
And just down, it is. We're just down now to TJH and TS Leclerc, the only two drivers.
Science going very slowly.
Time penalty.
Science going very slowly, just out of the chicane there. Well, so just before the chicane, I should say. Potentially went for a little spin there. Did the Australian, Mr. TS Science. He comes into the pits now. And key thing to note, Mr. Swayze, is that Alpaca Carbon has bridged that 3-second gap.
Yes, he has. And I don't see any drop off from the softs.
Fortunately, TS Science retiring in the pits. That is unfortunately the end of the Aussies race this evening. Let's just think go his way tonight. Here is A. Jackson. He's so close to catching Kirby. He's within half a second of that Red Bull driver. Surely it's going to be a matter of time.
Key thing there is Kirby is not going to pick up any DRS off of Leclerc.
He is not. And there is that rear wing advantage open for Jackson. Going to close up on Kirby. He's going to pull to the right. Going to try and get him under braking. These guys know each other very well from Tier 1 races over the last few seasons.
Still
side by side. Can A. Jackson hold out? He will get the inside line into this corner. He is going to be able to hold out. He gets that P4 away from TM Kirby.
Lovely overtake there.
Very, very good overtake. James picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. TJH and TS are the only two cars to not pick up time penalties this race so far.
I've got to say, amazing drive from TS Leclerc as well to recover from that drive through at the start of the race.
Definitely. Let's remember that Avtex Flames and TS Leclerc both picked up drive-through penalties at the start of this race for jumping the start. TS Leclerc has got himself up into a podium place now, with Avtex Flames in P8. So it's going to be good. To be fair, it's good points hauls for the Haas team, the McLaren team, and the Williams team. Good points hauls all around for those three teams. Fantastic start for this Williams team, this newly formed Williams team, I should say. So for anyone associated with F1RL by our previous name, Benji, you did call the Leclerc podium. What car is first? It is the Haas of Alpaca Carbon. It's currently leading this race, bud. 3.3 seconds ahead of TJH. That is the car that's currently leading. It's the Haas of Alpaca Carbon with TJH's McLaren in second place and TS Leclerc in the Williams in third as it stands. But yeah, for those who were part of F1RL under our previous name, all of the points that were previously owned by TS Leclerc as he was a Ferrari driver obviously still do remain with the Ferrari team. So Ferrari have had a massive head start in the constructors standings when we move over to tier 2. So Leclerc doing the last to question mark. Wonder what that reminds me of, says Generation 8 in the chat. We're approaching the end of lap 25. Alpaca leading.
Formel and Aztec Flames are on the same amount of time penalties and within half a second of each other. That is an on-track battle for position.
Battle for position. It's a battle for P7. Formel versus Flames. We'll see how those guys get on. We'll keep an eye on it. We are on the penultimate lap now. Kirby's closed up to Jackson. He's really closed up to Jackson. He's going to be able to use the DRS to his advantage as well. Uses that rear wing to his advantage. He's going to pull up alongside the Williams. He's going to make him go around the outside though, is Jackson. If Kirby wants to make this move stick, he's going to have to go around the outside of turn 3. He does do so. Jackson's going to look to try and come back in around this long left-hander. Kirby holds on for now. Jackson is still on his rear wing though. Jackson sends it up down the inside of Kirby. Is he going to make the move? He's not able to make the move yet. Drivers are still side by side. Kirby still in the lead, ahead of Jackson, and the move is now finally done by TM Kirby, and that is him up into P4. Just Geordie making a move on Flames, potentially? No, I think.
I'm not sure whether that was why or not. Obviously, that's going to give Jackson if he can stay within a close enough range, it's going to give Jackson the last run of the DRS down that main straight to get Kirby back.
Indeed. Here comes Flames hunting down Formel. He will have the rear wing DRS advantage, and Benji has mentioned it in chat. Leclerc is gaining on TJH. Here comes Flames. He's going to have a little look.
You know what else is happening? That gap is coming back down. TJH and Alpaca is now only 3.1, 3.0, 3.
This is so close. This is so close.
It's under 3.
It is under 3. We're on the final lap of the Grand Prix now. We're still watching Flames and Formel at the moment. Is Flames able to make this move?
Jackson on Kirby.
Side by side, Jackson does get him. He does get him back. These guys are going to battle till the end here. Battles all over the place. Alpaca needs to bridge a gap again. TJH has caught up to Alpaca.
Flames on Formel. On the final lap.
Formel comes back. Formel comes back at him. He gets, picks up a penalty. Oh, Formel, that's not ideal.
Put him back again anyway.
That is not ideal for the Haas driver there. 2.6 is the gap. 2.6 is the gap. TJH could do it here, you know. Alpaca needs to try and pull away. He's not. I don't think he's able to. I think these softs are falling away from him, Sway. I genuinely think these softs are falling away from him. Alpaca in sector 3 now.
This is not. This is not over.
Oh, someone's going slowly. Raven Chalet. Chalet's going slowly. That's not ideal. We're going to jump back up to the front of the pack though. It is going to be Alpaca Carbon. He's going to cross the line in first. But I think the race win here in Russia is going to go to the reserve driver of TJH. TJH wins the Russian Grand Prix here in SFR Tier 2. Alpaca gets second. Leclerc almost gets second. A. Jackson picks up fourth. Kirby in fifth. Raven Chalet comes around the final 2 corners now. And he is going to pick up P6 on track. Will he hold on to it though?
He's ghosted up, isn't he?
He is. Flames does cross the line in 7th. Formel in 8th. Just Geordie coming through the chicane now in sector 3 for P9. That may not be
Would
P9.
you like a very hard question there, Kieran?
It might. It's fact. You know what, Swade? It's not going to be P9. Formel, Just Geordie is going to drop out the points. Geordie
He is.
is going to drop out of the points because of penalties. Rivicile ran out of fuel
That
last
is
lap.
going to bring...
That's why he was
It's gonna
ghosted,
bring-
Sways.
There you go.
Chile ran out of fuel.
Oh my God, Dom got the...
Dom gets P10. You got to remember, just Geordie had about 13 seconds worth of penalties, Sways.
He did. But do you want me to drop you the hardest question, Bob?
Driver of the day?
Pick a driver
No
of the day
idea.
out of that.
Actually, no. To be fair, I do know. Jamie Leclerc.
Yeah, an amazing drive, amazing recovery drive there as well. I mean, simply sublime. To just miss out on second by 0.268 is insane after picking up a drive-through off the start.
And here comes Kira, rounds out the grid. P12 finish there for Kira on debut. And you,
Like I say, an amazing debut there for Jackson as well.
Not sure if you did hear what Revicile or see what Revicole's put in chat was. He ran out of fuel.
Well, Codemaster says it's Jackson.
Cody's give it to Jackson. I mean, he was definitely an honourable mention. Definitely an honourable mention. The reason why Revicile was ghosted, Sways, he ran out of fuel on the final lap. That's why he was going slowly, and that's why he was ghosted. He expected a safety car that just never came.
It didn't, did it?
Here we go. TJH, the reserve driver in the McLaren, picks up the race win here in Russia. Alpaca Carbon in second place, reserving for the Haas team. TES Leclerc picks up third place for the Williams team. A. Jackson in fourth, Kirby in fifth, Revicile in sixth, Avtex Flame seventh, Viewers Formel in eighth, Big Will in ninth, and Dom the Mule rounds out your top 10. Just Geordie, Kira, James, HT1D Raver are the last of your finishers, with TS Science, Chloe, and Papa Goose unfortunately unable to finish. TJH, wow, well driven Alpaca and Leclerc, he says. What about you, Sways? But
I'm
can we
going to
get
say,
these guys into a
I'm
fight
going
and
to
have a
say
chat?
TJ8 as well in there. I think we should. But I'm just going to quickly mention, obviously, you just mentioned there in the chat, great race base with those guys. But also, TJH and Leclerc, the only two drivers not to pick up a time penalty as well. Absolutely amazing. Clean driving, keeping within the track limits.
Indeed, let's get these guys into the party. Where is Alpaca? Invite TJH. And where is Mr. Leclerc? There is Mr. Leclerc. On voot, on voot, on voot. Bish, bash, bosh. Let's get everyone turned up as they join in the party. And then we can have a chat with all of the relevant peoples. We've got those positions this evening. So we have...
That went so fast. That was...
we have an Alpaca, we have a Leclerc, and here comes TJH. We have got all of our podium places now in the party with us. And you know what, Sways? I'm going to do what I did to you in Tier 1.
Oh, you bastard.
You're doing post-race, because... yeah. Because I said so. So, over to you, Sways, for third place, who I believe was Jamie.
Yeah, it was. Jamie Leclerc. Where did we start with that? The drive-through off the line, the amazing comeback, or just missing out on the second by 0.2? I mean, what a drive.
Yeah. Someone said it in Tier 1 on Saturday. I went through every single emotion that race. I'm sat here dripping, it's not very nice, and it's Russia, and I hate this place. I only got the drive-through, like, just. I reacted to flames ahead of me. And as I reacted and pulled my hand off the clutch and moved forward the tiniest amount, the lights went out. So, I was so close to getting, like, a perfect start, but so far, and essentially ruining my race. But yeah, I'll take a P3 after having to serve a drive-through.
Of course, another amazing haul of points to add to your incredible run so far since your debut in Tier 2. And of course today, just to quickly mention your teammate with his debut, you must be happy with that from him as well.
Yeah, really good. It was always the plan that he was going to let me go anyway. And then he was just going to try and stick to the back of me as long as he could, so I could tow him along to catch Kirby. And thankfully we did in the end, and didn't cost us much time. So yeah, good team performance. I am very surprised there was no safety car though.
Yeah, I mean, I will agree with you on that. There were a few questions.
I wanted to see the Aston Martin!
I think we all did, but of course I'm not going to wish it on purpose. I'd rather see it come out due to natural causes. But a great race overall, mate. I mean, unbelievable. Of course, driver of the day from a few people in the chat, from myself and Kieran as well, so congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much.
Well, we'll move on to P2. Mr. Alpaca Carbon dropping the place from first to second in the final 2 laps as you just lost that 3-second gap. Penalty cost you in the end. But all in all, such a great race and an amazing battle in the early sector, and of course mostly throughout the race with TJH. Talk us through that from your point of view. You guys were on each other like stains on a mattress.
Yeah, the start was really good. And these guys got a good start on their softs. So I was a lot of the time I was just trying to defend. I knew I had the pace, but I just couldn't break the DRS. The DRS is so powerful around here, and yeah, it's just come around to bite you in the end. Even with DRS, you could be you could be like 8 temps, 9 temps, and the pull on the DRS is just insane. So yeah, I just couldn't quite break the DRS, and it sort of cost me a little bit having the battle. I got 2 warnings on the exit of the final corner, and then I got the penalty going side by side with TJH into the first corner. So it is what it is. It's one of those things, and I feel like I drove well. We had good battles, and yeah, it's fun.
Indeed, you did. The way you guys were battling, it made that race disappear in the blink of an eye. Honestly, it was such a good race from a spectator point of view, and obviously, you sound like you've really enjoyed the battles as well. It's a shame because it went the way of a penalty was a deciding factor in it, but what a race for your appearance in Tier 2 tonight, and of course for our debut race as well. So congratulations on making the podium, my friend.
Yeah, man, and good job today, and glad that we could put on a good show for the first Tier 2 SFR race.
Well, rebranded as SFR. Can I just say before we move on to the race winner, I just want to give a shout out to my #1 fan in the SFR chat. I heard what he was saying in the chat, and apparently he was cheering me on all race, so thank you very much.
Wow. With that said, we will move on to our first place finisher, a debut driver in the Formula 1 section. I believe a driver from the ACC side of things in SFR. Welcome to the F1 side. Welcome to the podium and taking the top step on your debut race. Congratulations, TJH.
Yeah, thank you. It was a bit of a shock, but yeah, just managed to hang in with Alpaca, I guess.
And how was the battle for you? Did you enjoy it as much as what Alpaca did?
Oh yeah, it's good. I know Alpaca's a good racer, so I was able to hang it on the outside quite a few times. I kind of knew they'd lead the space, so it's nice, but like he says, he just couldn't break the toe. I had to stay within the DRS and keep having a go on him and keep within distance. To be honest, I forgot about the penalty that he had, and then later on in the laps, I saw that he had the 3-second penalty, and I saw Leclerc gaining on me. So that's what pushed me really. Leclerc chasing me down. So I guess I can thank Leclerc for getting me to hurry up.
Yeah. Well, I actually just say that thanks to Leclerc for pushing you, because there was that moment there where you had dropped further than the 3 second behind and were on just for second, but obviously you just said that Leclerc pushing you made you speed up a little bit, and you managed to get it back within the 3 seconds to pick up the win on your debut. So, you know, a massive congratulations on that, and such a great drive from you today. One of only 2 drivers, Leclerc included, to complete the race clean with absolutely no time penalties. So another massive shout out on that. Hopefully we get to see you again in F1.
Yeah, definitely.
Back to you, Kieran.
Thank you, Mr. Swayze. Yeah, massive congratulations to our podium places here for the first Tier 2 race with the rebrand here on the SFR channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it just as much as Swayze and I did. God, it was fun. When it's Swayze. Definitely.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the opening 2 laps was insane.
Yeah, there was action everywhere. That's the sort of stuff you want to see from Tier 2. These guys fighting, of course, for those potential spots up in the big leagues of Tier 1 on a Saturday night. So keep an eye on these Tier 2 battles as the racing progresses. But that is going to bring us to the end of the stream here this evening. A massive, massive thank you to everyone for following, for watching, and all of that wonderful support you guys do show us. SFR will be back, potentially, if we can find the relevant people to do so. Back on screens Friday night with ACC. It will be round 4 of the championship. It will be at the Circuit Paul Ricard in France. That is the ACC GT3 championship. The F1 guys take to the Tier 1 guys, take to the track on Saturday night from Bahrain. The Bahrain International Circuit in Sakir is where Tier 1 will be on Saturday night. And then next Monday night, in a week's time, we will be back here for Tier 2. It will be myself and Swayze again, unless something crazy happens and something changes. But it will be myself and Swayze, hopefully all being well, back next Monday night for an Australian Grand Prix in Tier 2. But until then, guys, from myself, KieranWright92, and TES Swayze, thank you so much for watching SFR, where competition is key.